good morning, good morning. Whatever time of day you're joining, whatever time of day you're tapping into this, I appreciate you. How y'all doing? How y'all been? Are you sleeping good? Are you drinking enough water? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you reading? Are you taking breaks? Are you saying no more often? I hope y'all are doing well. It's a month of May. Even my eyes are not working. How is it May? That don't make no type of sense. The math is not mathing. But by the grace of God, we have gotten through. So I think for me, I'm like, as long as I wake up, every morning that I wake up, I'm like, oh shoot, for real, we still here. Cool. Let's keep going. Every single day, I am genuinely surprised that I am alive and awake. That is literally a testament to the goodness of God. He woke you up this morning. You had to worry about nothing, nobody, no bad news overnight. But anyways, let's just pray right into it and let's get started. Lord Father God, I just want to thank you for your presence. I thank you for your comfort. I thank you for your closeness and proximity to us. I thank you that we don't ever have to worry because you're right there. You're in the fire with us. You're in the fiery furnace with us. And you're getting us through every day, every morning that we are awake, that we have breath, that we have a life, that we get to go to work, that we get to see our families, that we get to breathe is a testament of your goodness and your faithfulness that we don't take it for granted. All right. So, uh, you're cool and stuff. Okay. Amen. Um, okay. Where did we leave off? It's been a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. It's been a minute. I got time to be all here because I'm over there with him. What do you want me to say? I I have. I don't know if I shared this. Did I? Well, I'll share it again. But I have a secret Instagram between me and God that's been on and popping. I feel like anybody, if you want to really develop your devotional life, create a secret Instagram page. You don't share with anybody, you don't follow, nobody knows about it, nobody knows nothing. It's between you and God. When you're playing worship music, you do a little screen recording of your favorite part, you put it on there. You were taking a selfie, you put it on there. The Bible verse of the day, you put it on there. Like, it's just between you and God, and you just do your little reflections in the captions, whatever works for you. For me, as a visual person, I have the journals. I have a million journals that I fill up. Let me show y'all. I have journals, I have journals, and it's 5 on my bed right now, but like being able to visualize these things, right? The words on here, and I'm not a big drawer, so that's why I'm not doing that. But being able to have photos and visualize things and really bring my devotional and really bring my devotional life to time, my devotional time to life. It's really changed the way that I do my devotions. So yeah, I've been on there and now I'm streaming on there. I be going live. I'm sitting there and I'm talking to God for hours and hours. I'm like, this is great. Like, nobody knows about it. It's private and you could do whatever you want. And so that's been where I'm spending most of my time because I still need an outlet, I still need an outlet. And I'm like, I'm not posting stuff publicly. I'm not doing it's just yeah, which is why he was like, now do this. So that's been cool. What was it we leave off? The music fast, right? Today's May 4th, May 5th, Saturday, May 4th. I don't know. I don't have a day of time on me. The music fast was cool. It taught me a lot. It was hard. It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. For context, if this is your first time tuning in April, no, at the end of March, start of April, I felt God was convicting me to do a 30-day music fast, secular music fast. Was it, March 29th is Cowboy Carter premiere day. Between March 29th, I listened to it midnight, 11:59, all the way through that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 72 hours straight of having this album on repeat. And also, I'm just a music girl, put it right here. I'm just always listening to music all the time of day. I'm always listening to media. I'm always listening to a podcast. Like there's always something playing, an audiobook. And not just like anything, but even if it's like, self-help and like development and productivity and business, it's like there's just always noise. And also I like to listen to pop culture podcasts. I don't really keep up with celebrity stuff, but I'm like, y'all give me the tea. What's going on over there? I don't watch reality TV, so I'm like, y'all give me the tea, like what's happening. So there's always something playing. And then in April, God was like, yeah, put it down a little bit, because you start to idolize it. And when you, and anything that you put above God, anything that causes you to not obey God, it's an idol. So if you go to church, last Saturday, I went to a church thing that we had, and then when I was in the car, I just went back to what I was doing. While I'm at church, I'm like making a little video with the lyrics on there. Yeah, that's how you know it's an idol. And I was like, no, but like God, you've given me this desire. You know what I'm saying? Like, just giving me this desire to just like love music so much, to love storytelling through music, and then basically this was like a challenge to really stretch me. And like I said, I just learned so much. I learned so much from it. I learned how the music that I used to listen to influenced the way that I speak. It influences the way that I show up. It influences just my productivity in general. And just media in general. The past 30 days not playing, I still watch stuff. I just didn't watch like celebrity pop culture stuff. I didn't keep up with like celebrity drama. Again, I don't watch these shows, but I listen to podcasts that recap them. So I cut off those for a little bit. And then no secular music at all. I deleted all my playlists on Spotify. I had 40 plus intentionally curated playlists, but I'm not idolizing music, so it had to go because God said it had to go. What else? What else? So yeah, I realized just how much. And then so now I'm like, okay, I'm thinking I can outsmart God. I'm like, okay, so if I can listen to secular music, I'm just gonna be listening to Jesus music all the time. And even that numbed me out, because it's just like the concept of always having something playing. There's always something playing. As a society, we've gotten to the point where we are so numb, we are so desensitized, we've become so attached to all the mediums around. Let me not talk about y'all, I'm talking about me. And like through this fast, I learned, like, I can't live my life without having something playing in the background. Like, we're just so numb. Like, I know people that need like a sound machine to go to sleep at night. Like, it's literally gotten to that point where we are always connected, we are always attached, we are always plugged into the matrix, for real. And so like, I think like God was really revealing that to me. Like, to eat, I need to find a show before I can eat. Like this past 30 days, I was still watching regular. Still watching some shows, but the past 7 days specifically, he's been like, no, nothing. So all of April was no secular music. The last 5 days, like this, because I'm fasting into the month of May. I do that monthly fast. For this fast, he said no sound. No sound for the past no, it's been 5 days. Today's day 5. Today's Saturday. Today's day 6. Sorry. Today's Saturday, day 6. Tomorrow, day 7, Sunday, and I'm gonna go back to my regular life. But specifically this week, as I'm fasting into the month of May, he's like, no sound at all. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I just realized just how much, like, just how much noise. I think I said it on here. I said it in a different video. But I was like, it was like in March-ish. I feel like God is like working on my ears. I feel like God is working on my ears. Like, I feel like he's like really, like, he's shifting my attention. I feel like he's like calling me to silence, to reduce the noise. I've been saying it like all year. I've been thinking about, I'm like, I just get annoyed by stuff now. I don't really entertain the same things. I don't watch the same things. The moment I feel weird when it comes to something, I'm gonna take it off. Well, I'm gonna listen to my little music or whatever. But like, I started to be more sensitized or desensitized, I don't know, whichever version it is, to certain things. And like I started to notice I was getting, like, towards the end of March, I was getting irritated by things I was hearing. If it's like a song, if it's like celebrity drama, if it's like a TikTok sound, I'm just not as plugged in. I'm not on social media as much. I don't know what's trending. I don't know who's having a moment on the internet. I don't know what sounds are trending. I don't know anything. So that was like end of Marchish, and then in April he said no secular music. Boom. And I was like, oh wow, you really doing this for real, for real. So I binged Christian music. Yeah, I was like, I can outsmart God. And I just found so much good music. Like, I was in Kenya, and I was in Congo, and I was in South Africa doing my little dance. And I just discovered, just again, rediscovered the beauty there is in God. I was thinking about that in the car this week. I was like, I feel like God is really calling me to live my life in a different way. That is going to be very, very difficult for me. Because, as Christians, we live the double life. We're just like, what I'm saying, God over here, but also, what I'm saying, I love me a little something over there. I love me a good beat. I love, what I mean? But I truly feel like God is calling me to, I don't know what he's calling me to, so I'm not even going to say the words. But I was thinking about the fact that I took it so personal when God told me to do the music fast, because I'm like, but I love music and da, 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 da. But it's like, this is the God who made the universe. This is the God that I swear is amazing, is awesome, is great, is above all, is the I am that I am. You think God can make good Christian music? Like, he has made everything else. You think he can give you like good entertainment? And in that moment, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, Lord. So I feel like this is a new challenge, basically. Like, he's challenging me in a new way. I can still curate a Spotify playlist, but make it different. Make it Christ-centered. Make it motivational. And I also realized that all the songs that I was listening to during that fast, like, they just genuinely made me feel really, really good. Genuinely uplifted my mood. Whether I even understood what language they were speaking in or not, I would just have there's a Kenyan DJ. A Kenyan Christian DJ on YouTube. I love all his playlists, all of them. I forgot his name. I'll tag it below. But like, I just put his sets on, and it's like I'm always plugged in while I'm editing, while I'm eating, while I'm in the car. Like, I'm always listening to something. But I genuinely noticed a change in my mood and just how, in my productivity, it's just so weird to like music, like taking music away, and these are the things that I'm experiencing, and the way that I speak about myself, the way that I think about myself, my productivity levels, specifically, again, the past 30 days, yeah, because I was just like not listening to secular music, but I was still watching other things, and I was still like listening to Christian podcasts. But the past 5 days, being productive, I think the hardest part of me not consuming anything for the past 5 days is when I'm eating, ironically. Like, when I'm eating, I feel like I'm about to lose my mind every time. I'm like, what do you mean I can't put on Netflix? I can't put on your YouTube video. I can't listen. I sit there and I eat my food in silence. I'm like this has been so hard for me. And also, I was reflecting last night. I'm all over the place. Just journey with me. I don't like to have like a plan or whatever. We're just talking, right? We're just flowing. But last night, I was thinking about this fast this week, the whole concept of like fasting into a new month and all of that. And I'm like, why is God doing all of this? What is happening? I believe in this fast too. Like, I've told y'all, there's always something crazy that's gonna happen at the beginning of the month. But what was I saying? I was thinking like, okay, God is asking me to fast into this new month, right? No sound, no nothing. And it's about to be the busiest week of my life. And I'm going to be so stressed out, and I'm going to be so overwhelmed. And I realized, and I think God, I don't know, that he doesn't tell me like what the lesson is. And just don't tell me, actually. I don't want to know, because like I'm going to just be like, I'm going to feel so bad about myself. No, but really, I feel like this week was God calling me out. When I'm having my most stressful weeks, that's when I'm like, I need my drugs on deck. I need music on deck. I need a podcast, Christian podcast, whatever it is. I need something on deck. I need to be stimulated and connected at all times. When I am my most stressed out, I'm in here, I'm blasting music. My headphones live on my bed. I'm blasting music. I am plugged in. And the fact that, again, I had a deadline every day this week starting on Sunday. Sunday, boom, Monday. Not even starting from Friday. I shot an event on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I had a deadline every day this week. And I can't listen to anything. When was the last time you spent 7 days not listening to anything? You can talk on the phone to people. Okay? What can you do? You can read. You can do that, but no worship music, no social media, no music at all, no podcast, no audio books, because that's sound. Like, I thought I was gonna lose my mind. Don't take on this challenge. But truly though, if you want to learn things about yourself, if you want to unplug from the matrix in a sense, but if you really want to get closer to God and hear his voice and like experience peace of mind, if you're getting to the point where you feel like you're being numb by social media, which is what I was feeling, but I didn't know how to express it, do this fast. I challenge you to 7 days. You don't have to do a 30-day no music fast. You can hold on to your little Beyonce, hold on to your demons over there. But 7 days no sound is not for the weak. And okay, so basically I was saying that I was like, so even the new month fast, I'm like, God, can we move it to another week? Can it just be flexible where it's like I fast if I'm busy this week, I could just do it the following week. But like he said the first week of the month is for me. No matter what is happening, no matter how busy you are, as long as you make the time, I'll meet you at the point of your need. But like I'll work with you. I know what you got going on. But it's just the intentionality. As long as the intentionality is there, right? So not only is I'm trying to do the first week of the month fast. It's the busiest week of my life. 2 and 3, I can't listen to anything. I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was gonna lose my mind because, like I said, whenever I'm the most stressed out, I need all the stimulation. And I'm not even, it sounds dramatic because not that I'm like literally on the other side of it. I'm like, no, that truly is actually crazy. But in the moment, obviously, we don't feel it. Again, I'm always connected. I'm always plugged in, especially when I'm editing. How did I edit this week? Oh, thankfully, I was on a Zoom call. I get away with like phone calls and Zooms and like checking in on my family and stuff. That doesn't count. I'm just like, this is fellowship with my family. That's how I got through the edits. And then like that was like an hour, and then I was still edited for like another 2 hours. So I just sat there and what happened? That's just it. In the silence and the peace of the presence of the Lord. I'm gonna be bouncing all over the place. But God is so good. God is so good. Guess what day 2 of this devotional was? If you're listening to the audio version, I started Upon Waking by Jackie Hill Perry this week. I'm having such a Jackie Hill Perry fangirl moment. There are so many moments that I've experienced that revolve around her. First things first, I was listening to With the Perrys, and she was like talking about distractions and talking about busyness and productivity. And I don't remember the full context. All I remember is that she was like, y'all want to be God so bad. Y'all want to be everywhere all at once, doing everything for everybody. Y'all want to be God so bad. And I like stopped in my tracks and I was like, oh, she talking to me. No, the shoe fits. I'm just going to step right on into it. I was like, oh, she's reading me. I think I was even like driving home from something that I overextended myself to show up for, something like that. I was like, oh my gosh, she read me for filth. So that's the first one. I'm gonna try to link it. I don't remember what episode that was. I think it was the one about this, but I'm not sure. And then I was like, let me get Upon Waking. I wanted to get Upon Waking at the start of the year, but God was like, I felt like God was saying, actually, no, you're not ready. You're not ready for this. Like, literally. He was just basically like, I need to build you up first. Be consistent about something else, and then you can do this. So that's how I got the Black Girl Devotional. I did that for like 70 to 80 days, but it wasn't really giving. Oh, I'm sorry. Every time I talk about this lady's book, I talk about it negatively. I'm sorry. Excellence. Excellence. But I did it for 80 days, though. But anyways, so the clip from Jackie Hill Perry, y'all want to be Jesus so bad. And I was like, I got the book, her book, Upon Waking. That's 2. And then 3, I feel like there was a third one. There's a 4th one, but I thought there was a 3rd one. Okay. And then 3, there is a guest on the basement on Tim. Oh, and 3 is because of her that I was inspired to do the 30-day music fast. She was on the basement with Tim Ross, and God was like, tag, you're in it. So that's 3. And then 4, see, she's been in my life. 4, there's another guest on Tim Ross's show. It's so funny. I didn't even watch that episode yet. I just saw the 10-second clip on YouTube. She referred to a book that Jackie referred her to, and I've been reading this book, and it's just been blowing my mind. It's just been blowing my mind. The book is called You're Only Human. I don't know by what person it's by, but just Google You're Only Human book. And again, that clip when Jackie was like, y'all want to be omnipotent so bad, distractions, busyness, upon waking, and now you're only human, where it's where, you know, the author really talks about why we feel the need to do everything everywhere all at once, and why our limitations are a testament of God's goodness. Like, you don't have to be everything. God didn't create you to be everything. God didn't create you to be omnipotent, omniscient, everything. And it's just been like, it's just been so good. I'm reading it on my phone on Hoopla. You can get it on, it's not on Libby. If you could just get the free version on Hoopla, or you can buy the Kindle version, or you can buy the book. I had to buy the book because I am highlighting so much, and yeah, I need it in my life. So yeah, like literally specifically this week, having all this time on my hands and I don't have anything else to do, I was reading. I was like, oh, the reason why I haven't been able to read is because I've been binging all these podcasts. That's interesting. The reason why I haven't been able to like take a second to do my devotional is because I so distracted. Who knew? Who knew that's what it was? So yes, day 2 of Upon Waking, God's timing. I'm learning so much about God's timing in my life right now. Like, I'm learning so much about God's timing. But day 2 of the devotional, guess what it was? Guess what it was? Every day of this devotional has been right on point, exactly the word that I needed when I needed it. I wanted to read this at the start of the year, but God was like, you're not ready for that yet. And then right when I got it, I was like, I'm going to read it. I got it like towards the end of the April fast. You know, I watched that video. I was like, it's going to be perfect because I'm May 1, day 1, May 2, day 2. And it's just been crazy. Okay. But the second day, first of all, which one do I want to, yes. The verse of the day for the second day was the first of the day on the Bible app this week. Do you want to know about God's timing? I was supposed to read this book 6 months ago. And when I finally read it, okay. But day 2 talks about the noise. God said, you had questions, I had answers. And I was like, don't do me, right? But it was just like really talking about just like all of the things that we consume. We don't like to be, should I read it? I don't want to read it because I don't want to make this thing too long, but they're really short and sweet. Then there's the wonderfully terrible invention of social media that entertains without ceasing. Entertainment without ceasing. Like the Coliseum in our hands, and one swipe, videos of a recipe, a 12-second sermon, a slam dunk, a knee on a neck, an article about nothing or everything, a riot at the Capitol, a dog singing Sinatra. It's no wonder that when it's time to pray, the length and consistency of the prayer suffers under the weight of a mind. The weight of a mind that's completely uncomfortable with boredom. Our minds are completely uncomfortable with boredom. How are you gonna do a 7-day no sound fast when you've been plugged in? And on the bottom here, I wrote, in the plight of iPad babies. That's a whole nother topic. Look how much I've written in here. You know, that meeting you had to attend, you're trying to pray, and there's like all these things in your way. Think of boredom during silent prayer. This quote is so good. Think of boredom during silent prayer as an act of purification. In this uneventful moment, God purifies us of the false god of good feelings. Silent prayer is often something I want to avoid because it forces me to exorcise the demons of excitement, stimulation, and distraction. On some level, regaining discipline over your prayer life will happen as you rediscover the beauty of boredom. As long as you need to be doing, writing, reading, laughing, watching something to have joy, prayer will not be of interest to you. You know? But if you pause and remember the beginning of the prayer, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, you will remember God, who is the aim of every prayer. Yeah. So trust me, distractions will happen. It's a part of God is completely worthy of your mind's focus. Every time your mind wanders, just find a way back to God again and again and again and again. Y'all better get this book right now. Get it, get it, get it. It takes 2 seconds. It takes literally 2 seconds to read every day. So that was day 2. Day 3. She said something in here that I wanted to talk about. God exorcising the demons of excitement, stimulation, and there was just so much sound. I was still listening to music, right? I'm listening to Jesus music. But like all that worldly stuff, it was just playing. All the TikTok sounds from Vine, videos from celebrities, like everything was just playing, and it was so loud to do. It was so loud, and so I tried to numb it out with the Jesus music, and I'm like listening to gospel on my piano, and I'm like, but God was exercising all this stimulation, all this thing that has it in us. I can talk about it more, just not today. Like I want to make a separate video, a separate stream or something about it, because this has changed my life in ways that I will probably never come to understand, but it has already had very visible impacts on me and how I show up, and highly recommend. What else? And then day 3 spoke about what are you anchored in? What are you anchored in? Which was really, really good. But before we keep staying in upon waking, what else did I want to share? I feel like I've shared everything I wanted to share. I talked about the fast. I talked about this week. I'm fasting into the month of May, and I highly suggest you do it too. It's never such a thing as ever being too late. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. It's never too late to pray into your week, your month, your destiny, your life, your work, your family. So if you haven't had the chance to, I urge you to, this week coming up, starting Monday, fast for 7 days. Just like think about the goals you want to accomplish this month, your quarterly goals. Like just give God that time. Just give him that time. I talked about that. I talked about the no sound fast this week. No, I keep forgetting. No. I want to stay on there because there's a point that I wanted to make. So being that this was the busiest week, I got derailed. Being that this was the busiest week in my life, and I needed so much external, not reinforcement, but like reinforcement, like stress and anxiety drugs, not like that. I like literally like gummies or whatever, but like, things that I take to like keep myself calm, and music and a podcast playing while I'm editing, and this, and that. And if nothing else, I feel like this past week that God has instructed me to do no sound, listen to no sound, not just listen to Christian worship music. He said no sound at all, which is no music at all, no podcasts at all, no audiobooks, no nothing. On my busiest week, when I just need stuff to numb me out, God was like, I can get you through that. give me your week. I can get you through. If nothing else, he really, like, when I tell you I didn't know I was going to make it to Wednesday because just the pile of expectations that was in front of me and the way that I made it through, I was like, I literally don't know how I survived this week. And a lot of times when I'm at my busiest, I'm like, God, I don't have time right now. I'm sorry. And he's like, that's when you need me the most. Hello? He's like, that's when you need me the most, when you are your busiest, when you're like overwhelmed and you're not going to be able to manage all of these expectations of you. So yeah, that's like the biggest lesson that I learned this week. Because I was like, I can't listen to anything. I can't. So I'm like, I'm finna talk to you at all times. God, I'm stressed. God, help me. God, I can't do it. I can't do it. How many panic attacks did I have in my bathroom? I was like, I just can't do it, God. I can't do it. I can't lead this team. I can't do it. I can't do it. Hey guys, welcome back. How's everyone doing? Like, it was like such a long week for me. And it was a long week by Tuesday. And it's only Saturday. But by his grace, I made it through. And again, he really like reiterated this for me that like, you don't need all these other things. You know, they're there to support you. They're there to help you. But when you're at the point where you solely rely on them, I'm looking at my gummies right now. Hey girl, how you doing? When it gets to the point where you solely rely on them and you're like, God, give me a second. I'm busy this week. But you can pull up that playlist. You can pull up everything else that you need. That's when it becomes an issue. And that's what God has been. It's a light peeking through. That's what God has been meditating to me this week. I was like, wow. All I need is really you. That's crazy. Oh, the light is coming in. I'm so sorry, y'all. But we're gonna make this short and sweet. I'm just gonna let's do today's devotional together, and then we can head out because I'm actually heading out to shoot an event right now. But let's do today's devotional together, and then we head out. All right. Lord, speak to me, por favor. Okay, day 4 of the devotional. Verse of the day: my God, why hath thou forsaken me? Psalm 22, verse 1. Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. Okay. While reading the Psalms, I'm struck by how often God is questioned. We question him a lot. Why is he FR? This is a devotional. Have fun. Or any book that you read in the physical sense. Have fun. Why he's allowing this? I'm struck by how often God is questioned, why he's allowing this, why he's forsaken that. Suffering makes you curious. Oh, that's good. Suffering makes you curious. And to me, it seems... Okay, wait. I'm going to read it because I don't want to distract you guys because this is how I read. But let me just read it fully so y'all can get it because I don't want you to... Let me read it for y'all and then I'm going to do it for myself. Okay? While reading the Psalms, I'm struck by how often God is questioned. Why he's allowing this, why he's forsaken that. Suffering makes you curious. And to me, it seems being inquisitive is in fact a healthy part of prayer. Even Jesus in his dying hour asked God a question. I'm not sure who taught us to deny God our questions. If I were to guess, it must have come from the elders of Israel who didn't want us to be irreverent. They knew God was a consuming fire who descended onto mountains that couldn't be touched. Every generation after them is just my goodness. Every generation after them is just as stiff-necked as they were and therefore prone to testing God like their soul wasn't on the line. So I won't deny them the dignity of having good intentions, all right? But neither should we deny Scripture's testimony regarding this subject. Godly people ask God questions, and why shouldn't they? His ways aren't our ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts. The way God moves doesn't often align with our own logic. Hello? Since he doesn't share our nature or our essence, we run from pain, he uses it. We hate our enemies, he loves them. We try to hold on to our life with clenched fists, and he commands another way. We try to hold on to music with clenched fists, and he said, "Give that up." The way of death, which somehow, some way causes us to find the life we thought we were losing. Life with a transcendent God isn't always going to make sense. Okay? And if that's the case, questions will be commonplace. When our aversion to prayerful curiosity has lifted, I often wonder if we will discover what we've withheld from God. And by what, I mean our very self. Avoiding curiosity can be a luxury in some sense. To ask anything at all, you have to acknowledge your intellectual limitations. But not only that, to ask anything at all, you have to sit inside whatever tension your body, your life, your mind have brought about. Uncovering what hurts. Thinking about whatever is unclear is frustrating. If you decide not to ask God any questions regarding these things, you can go on with your life, actually. You can maintain your sense of control and manufactured peace. Manufactured peace is a sentence I never thought I would hear in my life. Manufactured peace. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. But to do that is to deny yourself the opportunity of giving God your whole life. Your whole self, my bad. I'm trying to preach. What if asking God questions is one way to cultivate intimacy with God? What if your questions become a door by which you could be vulnerable with Him? What if questions opened up your mind to read the scriptures with spirit empowered expectations instead of apathetic drudgery? If in fact Jesus is the wisdom of God, what if by asking questions you discover God? And by finding God, you find your answers? Oh, this is good. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Okay, now I'm going to annotate. While reading the Psalms, I'm struck by how often God is questioned. Why he's allowing this, why suffering makes you curious for real, for real. Okay? Suffering makes you curious because like I don't understand, why am I going through this? Why? What is the lesson that you're trying to teach me in this? And to me it seems being inquisitive is in fact it's a healthy part. It truly is. It's a healthy part of prayer. Listen, one thing about me, I love that, like even this, like I'm learning about myself. Listen, I will speak positively on myself. This is very affirming for me because I will ask God all the questions. And I think instead of, like, he knows what's in your heart. I've said it before. I'm like, he already knows what's in your heart, so you might as well say it out loud. Even if it's unruly, even if it's out of pocket, just say the thing out loud. But especially whenever you question things, like, ask God and let him reveal it to you because he will. Like, whatever questions you have of God, he truly will answer them. Even Jesus in his dying hour asked God a question. Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. I'm not sure. Lama sabachthani. That's how he said it. I had to, you know. I'm not sure who y'all taught us to tonight. Who actually? It had to be Adam and Eve. It had to be. Because they let that man infiltrate their minds and their hearts. And if you had a question, it was Adam and Eve. When you think about it, for real, for real. Because when God said, don't eat from that tree, they could have just been like, okay, but God, can you tell us why? But you let another voice come and influence you. Hello, somebody? Are you tapping into this? You let another voice come in and tell you, nah, God is just trying, you know what I'm saying? He's just trying to keep all the glory to himself. Nah, you good. You can go ahead and eat it. But like the person who has given you this instruction, your father who has just created you, who knows you, who knows his intentions for you, his plans for your life, why wouldn't you ask him, hey, okay, you said not to, and we're not finna do it, but also why? Why wouldn't you ask him that? Hello? And you're listening to another voice. Okay? Da, 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 da. If I were to guess, it must have come from the elders of Israel who didn't want us to be irreverent. Okay? What does it mean to be irreverent? One second. I have to know all the things. Irreverent. Hello? What's happening, girl? Ooh. Why is my laptop saying kikook kikook? Sorry, y'all, give me a second. I opened it, but I didn't think I was gonna end up using it. And then now, what is happening? I need to restart my laptop. Never mind. What does irreverent mean? I want to be able to look it up. But we keep going. I'll come back. Let me restart my laptop. Don't do me. Why are you trying to embarrass me? Let's go. We keep going. They didn't want us, they didn't want us to be irreverent. Irreverent. They knew God was a consuming fire who descended onto mountains that couldn't be touched. Every generation after them is just as stiff-necked as they are. Okay? They're just like that fear, like fear, but it wasn't like fear of God. But it was like a, yeah. Oh, I got it. It landed. They didn't want us to be, okay. And I see it, but I don't know how to explain it. They didn't want us to be irreverent, which means that they didn't want us to get to the point where we are too comfortable, where we got too comfortable and too casual and too cozy with God, because they witnessed the God that is the consuming fire. Like, they witnessed him in a way that was just so, I mean, you can't touch the man, but like just so tangible to them that every generation after them, they just taught them, you don't question that man because he's like a consuming fire and we saw him on the mountain and stuff. That man is crazy. So you don't question him. You do as you're told. And they raised every generation after them to be as, I hope I'm getting it right. I hope I'm getting it right. Let me see. I have to look up irreverent. Because irreverent, I see reverent, which is like reverence, which is like when you, child, grammar. Wait, what does it mean? Irreverent, showing a lack of respect for people or things that are generally taken seriously. They didn't want us to become irreverent, which means they didn't want us to like not take God seriously. So they went to the complete opposite end of the spectrum where they like so it's like fear of God, but like this is not like a healthy fear of God where like I will do right by him. This was like more of like a fear of God, like I am deathly afraid of him and we're not finna ask any questions. Don't ask him no questions because he's a consuming fire and he's coming down in the mountains and he can do stuff. We don't question the man. We just live our life. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Lack of respect. Lack of respect. Yeah. See, I have to like define it. Okay, so every generation after them is just as stiff-necked as they were, and therefore prone to testing God. Like their souls wasn't on the line. So I won't deny them the dignity of having good intentions. They had good intentions, but fear of God, you know what I'm saying, to the umpteenth power. But neither should we deny Scripture's testimony regarding this subject. Godly people ask God questions. Who else we finna ask the questions? Who else we finna ask all the questions? Question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point. Okay. And why shouldn't they? Hello? His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. The way God moves doesn't often align with our own logic. It don't do be. This is how I read. It really don't do be. Like, you know what I mean? Like the way that, I don't know about y'all, but the way that God will tell me to do something to get to an expected end is not how everybody else has done it. Other people have done this and that, and God is saying, Like, I don't understand his logic, but in the end I always come to receive so much greater revelation about him and stuff than like in the moment when he's like, if you want to build a media company, do morning devotion every morning on YouTube. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm supposed to be making videos. I'm supposed to be everywhere doing all the things, but I'm not. I'm not omnipotent. It doesn't align with our own logic, right? He doesn't share our nature or our essence. We run from pain, and he's the type of God who uses it. Okay? We hate our enemies. He said, well, I love them. He loves them. Those are his buddies. We try to hold on to our life with clenched fists. How do you spell that? And he commands another way, the way of death. He commands the way of death, which somehow, some way causes us to find the life we thought we were gonna lose. God will always challenge you. He will always push you to the opposite end, to the extreme. Whatever it is that you're holding on to, he said, give it to me. Okay? Life with a transcendent God isn't always going to make sense. My goodness, on this today. If I could just rip this page out. I can't underline it hard enough. It don't be making sense. Okay? And if that's the case, questions will be a commonplace. When our aversion to prayer, prayerful curiosity. I love that so much. Prayerful curiosity. When something stands out to me, I like to like write it here so I don't forget it. Prayerful curiosity. That's really good. That's really, really good. It's like that childlike wonder. It's like childlike, like really like, we always say that we're children of God, but we don't really fully embody that. We're trying to be stiff-necked grown folk with God, but it's like that's still your dad. Like to watch, especially like for example, when we're watching our parents with their parents, like they're big grown and have grown kids, and now they're grandparents or whatever. But when it comes to their parents, they're still baby girl, baby boy. But why do we not allow ourselves to have that same relationship with God? We say that we're children of God. So why just like lean into that childlike deluluness, that childlike curiosity, that prayerful curiosity, but that childlike wonder. I'm telling you, I'm not lying. I like before every meeting, every call I have to get on, whenever it's like a super stressful week for me, I'll have a tantrum. I'm jumping and I'm stomping my feet and I'm like, I don't wanna do it. Like that's literally where I'm at, and I'm like, God, I need your grace, I need your strength. Like, why don't we share that part of us with him? We are literally his children. You're his child. Okay, let that man hold you up. I often wonder if we will discover what we withheld from God, if we will ever discover, woo, what am I withholding from God? What am I withholding? Let me ask myself this question up here to think about. What are you withholding, babe? What are you withholding? Withholding nothing. Oh, this word again. I discovered what withholding means this week, and it's triggered me to the umpteenth degree. I want to read it for y'all. You know, we know the words. I need to get like a little physical dictionary because we know the words, but we don't always know what they mean. We can kind of like contextualize, like, oh, because it's used in this context, it probably means X, 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 and Y, and Y, and Z, and Z, right? Withholding. To withholding. Where did I? Oh, wait, no, it was on the Kindle that I got a much better definition. To withhold means to refuse to give something that is due to or desired by another person. To refuse to give. That's something that somebody is due or something that you know that they want. And I think Oh, that, like, that did a number on me this week. I'm evaluating relationships. I'm evaluating past lost opportunities. I'm just like, withholding. Withholding just sounds like, I don't know, for me, like, just hearing it, withholding nothing, like, it's just like holding, but like hesitating, and like being hesitant and stuff, but like you're refusing. Like, you know what it means to refuse? You stand 10 to let's Google refuse. You stand 10 toes down in the thing. Indicate or show that one is not willing to do it. I'm not finna do it. Indicate that one is not willing to accept or grant, fail to perform a required action. You know it's required of you, and I'm not finna do it. I refuse to give you this thing that is either due to you or that I know that you want from me. You know how many people withhold things from other people? You know that person desires that thing, and you're like, I ain't finna give it to you. I got lost. See, this word, I like, brand new revelation about it. But where were we? I often wonder if we will ever discover what we've withheld from God. What are you refusing to give back to God? To withhold is to refuse to give something that is due or desired by another person. What does God do? What, like, you know what I'm saying? We think about the Father, this reverential being, this transcendent being. What does he do that you're refusing to give him? What does he desire of you that you're refusing to? Oh, I'm finna throw this phone across this room. Because when I really understood the definition of to withhold, like the song, I surrender all to you, everything I give to you, withholding nothing. So there is nothing in my life that I'm refusing to give you, whether it's due to you or whether you desire it from me. What is God do? Your praise, your attention, your time, Lynn? Oh, don't do me, don't do me, don't do me. This is not even like me trying to flame nobody. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself. I'm pointing it back at me. Withholding nothing, including your time, including your effort, including that job, including your money, including that marriage, including the praise that he deserves, including your health. Like, I surrender all to you, everything I give to you, but my money is my own. I surrender all to you, everything I give to you, but that man, don't worry about him. I can change him. I can fix him. Okay, I'm gonna stop. 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 I'm gonna behave. I'm gonna stop. What are we with? Ah, my goodness. I often wonder if we will ever discover what we've withheld from God. I often wonder if we will ever discover what we've withheld from God. I can be on here forever. I gotta go. I really have to go. Okay. And by that I mean our very self, right? But beyond our, like, well, obviously, like, everything that is part of us makes us whole. Avoiding curiosity can be a luxury in some sense. It truly can. Like, you don't got to do nothing. You don't got to do the work. Ain't nobody finna force you. Like, you can do whatever. You grown. You're big grown. You can live your life anyway. Um, I'm just gonna put a little LOL. Avoiding curiosity can be a luxury in some sense. Um, to ask anything at all, you have to acknowledge your intellectual limitations. I'm reading You're Only Human right now, and I'm gonna buy the physical book so that I can write all over it, so I can throw it across the room when I need to, because this book is so good. You're Only Human. It reminds you that you are only human. You are intellectually limited. You are physically limited. You don't have to know all of the things. You don't have to hold all of the things, which is why you release it to God and you don't withhold anything from him. You don't have to keep all these things. Y'all, don't do me. Don't do me. Don't do me. And get this book, please. You're only human. To ask anything at all, you have to acknowledge your intellectual limitations. And a lot of us were like, we know everything. I have a college degree. I have 5 degrees. I have a PhD. I don't need to ask God for questions for anything. I should know everything. You don't have to. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you could put the weight down. It's okay. You're only human. Please read that book. Please read that book. Please read that book. But not only that, to ask anything at all, you have to sit inside whatever tension your body, your life, and your mind have brought out. You have to sit in that tension. When I tell you this week, no sound, no music, no worship music, no sermons, no, nothing. And things are bubbling up to the surface for me. You have to be able to sit with these things. I realized that a lot of people don't do, a lot of us, we don't really, inner self work is very difficult for a lot of people, which is why we tend to numb ourselves out, which is why we're so connected. Instead of like facing the thing that's inside of us, or working on our communicate, because working on your communication skills, that takes vulnerability. Like, vulnerability is very difficult for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, whether it be trauma, past experiences, fear of rejection, pride, ego, just fear of like being their vulnerability being abused. People don't rather to not to do the work. So why do the work when I can just smoke a little bit? Why do the work when I can just drink a little bit and forget about my problems for 10 minutes? Why do the work when I can just lash out on people instead of really getting to the root of like why I'm upset right now? Let me just take it out on my kids. Let me take it out on my spouse. Let me blow up on other people. I don't have to work on my communication skills. Like, it's scary. It's so scary to do the work. And let me tell you, no, because if I say something, it's like I'm glorifying the flesh, so I'm not gonna say anymore. But do the work. Do the work, because you can get yourself to a point where not like everything is on the table, because we're never fully healed. We're never like fully perfect, but like to the point where you're just like, I'm aware of like the circumstances and how they've shaped me in my life, but they don't define me. I think the people in this life who are like the loudest, the most obnoxious, the most like the worst communication skills, who take out all the anger on their spouses, on their children, who are just like the most all over the place. There's something up in there that they're too afraid to uncover. And it's scary. Doing the inner work is so scary. That's why not everybody is in therapy, especially if you're Haitian. You don't want nobody in your business. Like, doing the self work is so scary, and you have to hold yourself accountable. And that's the word, the A word. Y'all know I'm Chief Accountability Officer. And a lot of people are very afraid of doing the work, like terrified, because the type of stuff that comes up, what somebody did to you when you were 7 years old, when that person broke your heart, when that person said, this thing about your body, when that auntie spoke down on me, and now I'm literally at the point of my life where I'm afraid of men. Like, this stuff bubbles up. You have to sit inside whatever tension. You have to sit. The tension your body, your life, and your mind have brought about. Uncovering what hurts. Thinking about whatever isn't clear is frustrating. It's not gonna be easy. It's just not gonna be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. And that's why a lot of people would rather not do the work. I can just smoke a little bit. I can just drink a little bit. I can just listen to music. Like, even I myself, I have moments where, again, I'm like, God, I'm so stressed out. I don't have time to spend time with you right now. So let me just binge. Let me just blast this music in my ears, and just so I can just escape for 2 seconds, because I'm so stressed. I'm so overwhelmed. If you decide not to ask God any questions regarding these things, you can go on with your life. You can do whatever you want. But it will show up in your relationships. It will show up in the way that you relate to others. It will show up in the way that you do your work. It will show up in your drive and your productivity. Because that energy has to have somewhere to go. It doesn't just diminish. It doesn't just fade into the ether. The energy is going to go towards something. It got to go somewhere. Okay? So you can go ahead and maintain. Oh my gosh. You can go on with your life. I love this sentence a lot. You can go on with your life. Maintaining your sense of control and your manufactured peace. Read us. Manufactured peace is crazy. Manufactured peace is crazy. I don't want to get into anybody's life. I don't want to get into anybody's zip code. Okay? But to do that is to deny yourself the opportunity of giving God your whole self. Just give the man your whole self. Just give him your whole self. It's so liberating. It's just so freeing. And that is the ultimate level of intimacy. Like, there's no such thing as like a perfect Christian. Okay, I have 5 stars, I have 5 badges, I'm the perfect Christian. But like, you get to the like such a point in your intimacy with God that like nothing is off the table. Nothing is off the table. Nothing. And I want that for the best of us and the worst of us. Nothing is off the table. God, let me tell you something. Okay? This thing just happened and I don't know what's going on. Like, talk to the man. Like, just talk to the man. Even this week, I was like, God, I'm so busy, and like, you're telling me to do this thing. I didn't really have a productive fast as I usually do, because I'm like, I'm so busy. I don't have like, I'm just so busy. From the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, there's always something to do. And God was basically like, and that's fine. I just want to be here. Like, God is just such a gentleman. Like, he's like, I just want to be here. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to just read the word, do your little devotion, read the other book, and talk to me. That's it. I just want to be here. You don't have to overthink the process. Just talk to the man. Please, just talk to him. What if asking God questions is one way to cultivate intimacy with him? I just said it. I didn't even remember that I read that. See? It develops intimacy because you really get to the point where you're like, nothing is off the table. And I think like that is like the ultimate test of a relationship. But like, I think that, literally speaking as somebody who's never been in any relationship, who's never seen a man in my life, I don't know anything. My only man is my husband. I've never seen any, but I've never even seen a man in my life. The first man I'm ever gonna see in my life is my husband. But really, to get to a point in a relationship where nothing is off the table, if nothing else, that is the ultimate cycle breaker. And actually, I also heard this something this week that someone was like, I'm not even trying to break any cycles because they've been there for generations. I'm trying to start a new cycle. She's like, I'm not a cycle breaker. I'm a cycle starter. That's a mindset shift as well. That's a new cycle that we're starting. Not that like people around me, I have no examples of healthy relationships around me because we don't talk. The man doesn't talk. The pride and the ego and the sense of like, I can do whatever I want whenever I want, and so people are not talking. And then the women are yelling at the men, but women are considered nagging, but it's because they're talking to somebody who's not listening to them, and so they're constantly repeating the thing over and over again. There's no healthy sense of communication. People hold grudges. People don't forgive, and people like, it's just like so much brokenness because people are not doing the work. If you're not doing the work, there's no way you know how to communicate. That's just it. If you're not doing the work, I guarantee you, whatever communication level you think you're at right now is not it. And so like, we don't have time to do that. So let's just be angry at our spouses and let's just take it out on our kids. Let's just do whatever. This is off the table. This is my business. This is your business. And that's not a thing in marriage. Like, it's not, don't worry, I'm gonna deal with that. Like, no, my life is tied to yours forever. So you better tell me what you got going on. Because now it's us. When you were single, it was you by yourself and you deal with the thing and maybe your family stepped in. But as long as we are building together, everything concerns one another. And it's like every little thing as well, right? Look at me, marriage counselor. Let me counsel y'all marriage. You're gonna last forever. No, I've never met a man in my life. I've never met a man. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, when I have my relationship in the future with the first man I'm ever seeing, laying eyes on, who will be my husband, nothing is off the table. Because how do you mean I'm gonna live the rest of my life with you, and I'm just gonna deal with this thing over here? I've literally heard it from the men in my life, well, father figures and uncles and stuff. No, I'm just gonna deal with this thing. Don't worry about it. This is my thing that I'm gonna deal with over here. No, because if it concerns your wife, if it concerns your husband, whoever it is that's doing the withholding, whoever's doing the withholding, refusing to give or refusing to give somebody because it's required or they desired. So there's gonna be somebody impacted. Somebody is gonna be impacted by it. I could stay here forever. Anyways, what if questioning God is one way to cultivate intimacy? What if your questions become a door to which you could be vulnerable with Him? I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. Star. What if your questions opened up your mind to read the scriptures with spirit empowered expectation instead of apathetic drudgery? Instead of being like, oh God, ugh. Because you've shared this part of you with Him, you've shared your deepest desires with Him. It's scary to say it. Like, I'm at a point in my journey where I'm like, God, I didn't want to do this thing because I didn't feel like I was worthy. God, I didn't want to do this thing because I feel like these people don't like me. God, I didn't want to go here because I don't like them. Like, that level of honesty. He reading your heart. Release it back to Him. God, I'm frustrated with my family because X. I'm frustrated with my partner because what is happening. Like, that level of vulnerability, releasing it to Him, because as long as you're not releasing it to Him, as long as you're withholding it, you're saying to Him that you got this. You don't need Him to step in that situation. You're putting a limit on Him. You're like, it's okay. I can be omnipotent, omniscient, all of the things. You don't need to step in. I got it. Don't worry about it, buddy. So let me maintain my little sense of control and my manufactured peace. Everything is falling apart around me, but I'm gonna sit at the, the meme where he's just like sitting at the table smiling and the house is on fire. What if your questions opened up your mind to read the scriptures with spirit empowered expectation instead of apathetic drudgery? I'm almost done because I really have to go, y'all. I'm gonna get fired. We're gonna look up apathy, and we're gonna look up drudgery. Hello. Apathy is like when you're like when you don't care. Drudgery is like, I'm trying to think what I think it is and then what it actually is. I think apathy is like when you literally don't care. There's empathy, there's sympathy. Sympathy is like, oh, I feel for you. Empathy is like, oh, I know where you're coming from. Apathy is, it don't make me, no, never mind. That's what I think. Drudgery. I don't know. Drudgery is like, maybe like, because I hear grudge. Drudge. It's like you're dreading something. You're just like, it's almost like resentment or something. I don't know. Apathy, lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. It don't make me, no, never mind. Lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. So you're praying with apathy. What? Instead of apathetic drudgery. So you don't care. What is drudgery? Drudgery. How you praying you don't care? Hard, menial, or dull work. Apathetic drudgery? What does that even mean, you guys? Activity involving no effort. No effort. It's menial, it's distasteful, it's dull. So, lack of interest and no effort. Apathetic drudgery is when you're just praying it just out of habit. You don't really care. Oh, that's good. You better read us, girl. Let me put them together. Apathetic drudgery. Apathetic drudgery. Indifference. They don't have apathetic drudgery, but you can kind of like put them together. Uninspiring. You don't really care. It could be whatever. Wow. And the author said, what if your questions opened up your mind to read the scriptures with spirit-empowered expectation instead of apathetic drudgery? Spirit-empowered expectation, because there are certain things that you're not releasing to God. So when you're praying, you're like, okay, God, like, I hope you give me this. Okay, cool, whatever. Like, I don't care whether you do it or not. It don't make me no never mind, because I already have my plan. Hello? Whether you do it or not, it could be whatever. Because I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna do my own way. But go ahead, God, go off, sis. Like, do whatever you want to do. Or spirit empowered expectation. God, I ain't got no other option. I ain't got no other plan. I have a plan B. I don't have a plan C. It's on you. What you finna do? How you finna come through? Oh, that's good. I can't finish this thing. I gotta go. I'm literally in the last sentence. In fact, if in fact Jesus is the wisdom of God, what if by asking questions you discover God, and by finding God you find answers? By asking questions you discover God. By finding God you find answers. Let's go ahead and read 1 Corinthians 1:24, and then let's get out of here. One core 124. 124. 124. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Boom. But okay. 124. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, girl. The true power of the cross. We can start from there. To preach the message of the cross seems like sheer nonsense to those who are on their own way of destruction. But to us who are being saved, it is the mighty power of God released within us. Ooh, we thank you for the cross, the blood that was shed on the cross. For it is, I'm literally not trying to leave. For it is written, I will dismantle the wisdom of the wise, and I will invalidate the intelligence of the scholars. So where is the wise philosopher who understands? Where is the expert scholar who comprehends? And where is the skilled debater of our time who could win a debate with God? Hasn't God demonstrated that the wisdom of this world, system is utter foolishness? You better tell him. For in his wisdom, God designed all. God designed that all the world's wisdom would be insufficient to lead people to the discovery of himself. He took great delight in baffling the wisdom of the world by using the simplicity of preaching the story of the cross in order to save those who believed it. For the Jews constantly demand to see miraculous signs, while those who are not Jews constantly cling to the world's wisdom. But we cling to the world's wisdom, but also we're preaching the crucified Messiah. Which one is it going to be? The Jews stumble over him, and the rest of the world see him as foolishness. Hello? 23, that's 23. The Jews stumble over him, and the rest of the world sees him as foolishness. My God. But for those who have been chosen to follow him, both Jews and Greeks, he is God's mighty power, God's true wisdom in our Messiah. Thank you, Jesus. We love you, Jesus. For the foolish things of God have proven to be wiser than human wisdom. The things that would be foolish compared to God, it goes far beyond our own human wisdom. And the feeble things of God have proven to be far more powerful than any human ability. My goodness. What is the lesson for today, childrens? Let me give you some homework. Please get upon waking. This is a book that, if you need to be invigorated anyway to get back into your word, this is kind of the challenge that you need. It takes literally 5 minutes a day, and then you read your Bible. If you need it to be reinvigorated, get upon waking. Get You're Only Human. You're Only Human is also very, 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 very good. I wish I could read an excerpt from You're Only Human. Gang, I will share it in the community tab. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. There's a really good excerpt. Let me see something. Let me see something. I just want to read one last thing before I leave, because I have Hoopla online. Let me see if I can access it online. Us digital children, we just like, we are so technologically unlimited. We don't even understand. I don't remember my login. Yikes. I wish I could read this thing to y'all. You would be like, excuse me? You would be like, read me for filth. Hoopla. I don't remember my Hoopla login, girl. I don't remember, babes. I don't remember. I don't remember. So yeah. I was gonna find this book. I don't know. I'm just gonna put it in the community tab or something. Yeah, I have no other way to, unless I try to pull up my Instagram. It's not connected. I don't even remember my password for that Instagram. Life is hard. Life is so hard. Wait, y'all give me a second, please. I feel like it should be the same password because it's the same account. Oh, anyways, I have no other way to do anything because it's a private account, so I can't access it anyways. So yeah, say all that to say, thank you for joining in today. I hope that this was a blessing to you in any way. I just hope that you received something, that God was able to speak to you. Take it easy. Take it easy. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to be in charge of your entire life. You don't have to be in control of your entire life. You don't have to withhold anything from God. You don't have to withhold anything. You don't have to hold on to anything. Literally, He will uplift you. He will sustain you. He will give you everything that you need. He'll give you everything that you need. He is everything. You are everything. Everything is you. Also, homework assignment. Go watch Ty Tribbett's Tiny Desk. It's been a blessing to me. I watched Tasha Cobbs's Tiny Desk, and it got, I don't know, something happened. If you go watch it and you see what I'm talking about, something happened and it was so distasteful to me, and I was like, I'm logging off. I couldn't finish it. I was like, girl, what? And that changed the way that I look at her. Now I'm side-eyeing her. So I have to go pray for forgiveness. But let's pray out. Lord Father God, I just want to thank you that you're so good. That there's just so much joy in your presence. I'm literally sitting in my bedroom talking to my phone, and I feel your presence, and you're here with me, and I'm able to tap into your joy, your proximity to me. And I just want to thank you that you always make the time. You always make time to hang out with us, whether we're working, whether we're busy. As long as we're willing to spend time in your presence, you show up and you show out. I don't even want to leave the stream, for real. I actually don't mind staying even longer, but I gotta go work and stuff. And so I just want to pray over everyone who tapped into this. Let them receive some type of revelation of you, that they will be blessed in the mighty name of Jesus. I thank you because you're good. And everything that you do is good. Your yes is good. Your no is good. Your hold on is good. Your wait up is good. Your I'm not sure you should go in that direction is good. Your do the thing, I'm pushing you is good. Your this thing is not for you is good. Your wait your turn is good. Wait for your time is good. Everything that we understand and everything that we don't understand, it's all good. It's all good in you. I thank you. I glorify your name because you're faithful. You're mighty. You're a good Father. My team say, amen. All right, y'all, I gotta go.